It is going to be very interesting. Okay. So first, I just wanted to discuss two more concepts I just left out. First one is EBS instance store. Okay. See, we already discussed, you already know, you already gone through what are volumes, what are EBS volumes, what are the types of EBS volumes, and how to use them. What is SSD, hard disk, GP1, GP2, all these things, how to create a snapshot, how to copy the snapshot from one region or one availability zone to another availability zone, how to attach one volume to multiple EC2 instances, right? And how to increase the size, how to create a new volume and attach it to new EC2 instance, detach this EC2 instance and attach to another instance. All these things we learned, correct? So now there is a small concept known as EBS instance store. So what is the EBS instance store? Any idea, sir? Okay. So if we just compare this EBS volumes versus EBS instance store. By the name only, you can able to identify that these are these are nothing but hard drives to your EC2 instances. Correct? There are two kinds in EBS. One is EBS instance store and another one is EBS volumes. What happens with EBS volumes? If you store the data in EBS volumes, the data is, please note down this word, the data is going to be persistent. What is the meaning of persistent? Persistent is nothing but it is going to store the data permanently. Right? See, if you're storing your data into your local hard disk, what happens? The data is going to be there until your laptop or you exist. Correct? That is, the data is going to be stored permanently. That is what, if you use EBS volumes, whatever the data which is present inside your EBS volumes, it is persistent. But here it is not persistent. That is the only difference. Here it is just a temporary, okay, it is just a temporary storage location. That's it. EBS volumes are permanent storage devices. EBS instance store is a temporary storage location. That is the only difference between EBS volumes and EBS instance store. Okay. And if you wanted to define EBS instance store are the temporary storage for your EC2 instances wherein the data will be lost if you start and stop the server. Please remember this. If you start and stop the server, the data is gone. Okay. It is just a temporary storage location. Instance store are the temporary storage for your EC2 instances wherein the data will be lost if you start and stop the server. Okay. That is the first point. Now, with respect to your EBS volumes, what are the things that you can do, sir? Instance store, just to give you the difference. Here the data is persistent. Here the data is not persistent. That is, it is a temporary storage location. That you already know. With the EBS volumes, what are the operations you can create, sir? You can create one EBS volume and attach it to multiple EC2 instances. This is possible here, correct? But here it is not possible. Taking up of AMI snapshot and copying the snapshot into different regions It is possible in EBS volumes, but here it is not possible. Okay. And what is the other differences? Uh, 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 and when you compare instance store with your EBS volumes, the performance, when it comes to performance or IOPS, input output per second, is very high here when it compared to EBS volumes. It is also high, but it is very high. Input output or performance is very high in your instance store, and it was compared to instance store, it is quite low. Okay, so when you're going to use this instance store, let us assume you have an application which is generating some logs. These logs are in huge size. Okay, you just wanted to analyze these logs. That is, you just wanted to see what kind of issues are occurring, what kind of users are getting access to these servers, just information, and you are not bothered even if even if these logs are gone, you're not cared about that. Okay, so at that time, just to analyze these kind of logs, what you'll create an EC2 instance and attach an hard drive of type instance store. So you'll just use this. Once you're done, if you just stop and start the server, the data which is present inside your instance store is gone. That is, it is just a temporary storage location. Okay, so where you can see this, it is supported by only few of your AMIs. I told you what is AMI. AMI is nothing but your operating system for your EC2 instance, correct? So this EC2, this instance store is supported by only few of the AMIs. Where you can see that, just come to images, here AMIs. Okay, just first apply the filter here. Here I'm clicking on public images. Then just come here, search for root device type is equal to instance store. Let me show you one more time. Root device type is equal to instance store. Just click on that. Okay, see, these are the AMIs which support for your instance store type of storage. Okay, just click on any of the any of the AMI, launch instance from AMI. Okay, now you can able to see. Wait for a second. It is not allocated. Or we can also select other AMI. That's it. Can you able to see this? See here, 1920 GBs of data or storage is allocated to my EC2 instance. Okay, you can also see here, there is this. See, configure storage. See, can you able to see this? Instance store volumes, right? See, 1009, almost 2000 GB, 2 TB of data or storage is allocated to my EC2 instance. And when you now, if I create an instance and I can do all the work, when I do start and stop of the server, then this is gone. Whatever the data which is stored inside your EC2 instance, that is gone. This is kind of a temporary storage location, or also please remember this word, epithermal in nature. Storage type is epithermal. That means the data. Epithermal meaning temporary. Okay, temporary. For it, the data will be existed for only temporary period of time. That is the meaning of epithermal. I don't know how you guys read it. Epithermal or something like that. Okay. So that is a small concept of instance store, right? Next concept I just wanted to show you was EBS encryption. So what is this EBS encryption, sir? You are going to use your EBS volumes, correct? These are, let us assume this is your EBS volume. And you're going to store some files here, some images, whatever the things that you want, you are going to store it here. Now, if you wanted to protect the files inside your secure, your files inside this EBS volume, then there is an option given by AWS known as EBS encryption. What does this EBS encryption option will do? It will just encrypt. It will encrypt the data which is present inside your EBS volume. That is what it will do, sir. That is a simple option. How to choose that option? Just come here, go to volumes. Where is my volume? Here, volumes. Okay. This is, let's create a new volume. And if you just come down, here you can see this option. Encrypt this volume. Okay. How it is going to encrypt? It is going to use a your KMS key. But what is this KMS key? That we'll discuss at later point of time. But now, please remember, it is going to encrypt your data with the help of your KMS key. Key Management Service, KMS means. Okay. So that is the another point. And I just noted down some point for you guys. Let me show you this. Where is this here? See, don't worry about this. Just solve this. Control X. See how your EBS encryption works. If you just read this, EBS encryption encrypts the data at rest, that is whatever the data that you are storing, data in transit, and the data which is present in your snapshots. It encrypts all kinds of data. Okay. It works at the block level, meaning that data is encrypted when it is stored. Please remember this. Data is encrypted when it is stored and decrypted when it is retrieved. Whenever you store the data into your EBS volume, it encrypts the data. Whenever you try to access that data, then it is going to be decrypted. That is what the meaning of this. Okay. So this is another one. Okay. So any questions? Yes. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay, let us come to actual part now. Now, what is plan? Okay, now I've created one server and I just logged into that Ubuntu server. Now, what is the plan as? See, we have created one server. Once the server is created, now we have created attached EBS volume, so all these things are done. Now I'm going see whatever the things which are related to your EC2 instance. I took almost 6 classes just to complete this EC2 instance, including this class. Okay. This is because if you have this basics strong, if your basics are very strong, whatever the things that I'm going to discuss from next classes, it is going to be very, very easy, sir, for you. I'm just going to implement the story on top of your EC2 instance. That's it. Again, if I discuss another story on top of that, I'm not going to implement that. Okay. So that is the reason I took a lot of time for you to understand what is EC2, all these things. Okay. Next, from upcoming classes, we are going bit fast from the next classes, but it is not fast. I'll just, okay. All are going to be very easy, sir. Okay. Now, that is being said, your EC2 is completed now. I just left with one concept, that is security group with your EC2. That we'll discuss tomorrow. Purposefully, I left this as of now because tomorrow you'll understand this concept in a beautiful way. Okay. So now, once your EC2, your server is created, what is the next step that we are going to do? We are going to host some website inside your server. That is what we are going to do it now. So now we have created an EC2 instance. Then what we need to do? We need to host some website inside your EC2 instance. This is what we are going to do now. Okay. So if you wanted to do or host a website, first what you need to do, sir? First, you need to install a web server inside your EC2 instance. This is what you need to do. What is web server? What is application server? That we'll discuss once we are done with this. Don't worry. Just first, let us understand how to host a website, how to access this, all these things. Then we'll discuss what is this web server. Okay. First thing, what you need to do inside your EC2 instance, install your web server. What are the types of web servers we have? First one is Apache 2. Second is Nginx. Next is HTTPD, right? These are the web servers available in the market. Even there are so many web servers available. So I'm logged into one of the server. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to install Apache 2. How to install that, sir? Sudo apt. We already discussed about package management in Linux, correct? Sudo apt install Apache 2. Okay, just click on yes. See, it is telling me it is already the newest version. That means it is already installed in my system. How to check whether a particular software is installed or not? Just sudo, just clear the screen, sudo service Apache 2, and what are the I explained you these commands, right? Service, how to start, how to restart, how to check the status. Sudo service Apache 2 status. Okay. See, your Apache 2 application is already running inside your machine. This is just like if this is your laptop, what you're going to do, you're going to install one application. How you're going to install? You download it from your internet and you're going to click on install, next button, right? Same thing. We already installed. Now, this is the command which we use to check whether the application is running or not. Okay. To come out of that, just click on Control C. Now, once it is done, now we have installed using this command. We checked whether the application is running or not. Correct. What is the next thing we need to do? See, installation is done. Second one is we check whether the status, whether the web server is running or not. Third one is what you need to do. Just go to this path. What is that path? This path /var/www/html. You just need to navigate to this path. Okay. Just navigate to this path. How you are going to navigate? cd/var/www/html. Okay, just click on enter. Okay, now we are inside what is the present working directory. This is my present working directory. Okay, now what are the files available here? ls, see, there is no file available. Now what I'll see, whenever in my case it is already installed, maybe I have deleted that file, but in your case, whenever you do ls at this location, there are some files available with index.html, something like that. Okay, so that is absolutely fine, there are no issues. Now what I need to do here, I need to create, see, this is the path. I should navigate to this path first. Next, create a file, create a file with the name index.html. And what is the content of this index.html file? See, if you wanted to create a website, then they're going to use HTML language. We'll discuss about this in 10 or 15 minutes, just for your understanding. We're creating index.html page. So inside this file, what we are going to write, just write down this /h1 welcome to India, something I'm writing, welcome to India, and just close that tag. Just do that. vi, you just need to switch to sudo vi index.html, just enter, insert h1 welcome to India /h1, close that tag and save it. See, now this file is generated. That's it, sir. You are done with the creation of your website. Now, how to access this website? Next point, how to access this website? Just take a public IP or EC2 instance, colon, public IP, colon, your port number. This is it. So just take a public IP. Where is this? This is the instance. This is my EC2 instance. Just take a public IP, come here, just paste this and colon 80. Okay, just click on enter. See, this is the website just now we created, right? I'm just creating a small website here. Clear? How to host a website? And this is the first thing I just wanted to show you. Let us now, guys, everybody understood this, what we're doing? Hello?
Yes. Sachin, can we go a little slow?
Okay, no problem. See, I'm just showing you this. This is for the first time. Again, we'll repeat this process with a real website. Okay,
Okay.
this is just hosting some dummy website I'm hosting now. This one. This is just a dummy website now. Okay, again, I'll just repeat the process. Okay. Now what let us, did you guys understood the process? What we did? First, you need to install the web server, then check the status. It must be in running state. Okay. Then just go to this path, create index.html. Inside that, just put some content using these tags, or in online also will get something, and how to access public IP colon 80. So this is how you can able to access. Okay. So if the website is not accessible, whenever you do this, where is this? Whenever you do this uh, IP address /:80, if the response is not coming back from your server, then what you just need to do is just come to your EC2 instance, come to security group here. Okay. Just come to security group. Here you will see on security group. Just click on that security group. See first, just come to your EC2 instance in whichever the server you hosted your website. Just come to that, come to security, just come down, security group. Here you can able to see edit inbound rules. What is the security group that I'll discuss? But just as of now, just do this. Edit inbound rules. Just come here and you need to add rule here. Add rule, custom TCP, just leave it and provide the port number. See, you are accessing this application through HTTP protocol. HTTP here. Okay. What is this is already added in my case, but in your case, this is not going to be added. If you're not getting the response from your server, then just come to security group, add rule. They just provide here number is 80. Okay. Then custom anywhere IPv4, just save rule. This is the one more step that you need to do if you're not getting the response. Okay. That is the another thing. Now you are ready. So let us host a real website. Okay. Just give me a second. How we know particular port number is assigned to particular IP? See, sir, for your web servers, for all the web servers, you have this port number. I need to talk about the port number. I know I'll talk about that. Where is this? See, for all your web servers, by default port number is 80. Okay. Your HTTP or HTTPS, your port number is 443. Okay. Your RDP, first let us say SSH port number is 22. Your RDP, remote desktop connection, your port number is 3389. These things you just need to remember, some small concepts. Okay. And again, we'll add some port numbers at later point of time. I'll talk about this in detail. First I need to tell you what is port. Then only I can able to tell you what is this port number and all those things, correct? But as of now, please add this rule inside your EC2 instance. That's it. Do not worry what is this port, what all these things. I'll talk about this. It's very, very easy, sir. Okay. Now, let us host a real website. Hosting a real website, what we'll do? First, same thing. Again, install. Sir, can you please go on mute, sir? First, install your web server. We already installed our web server. Second, what is the step? We need to check with the status of that web server. What is the status? It is already into a running state, correct? So how to check that server, whether it is running or not? Sudo service sudo service Apache 2 and status. Okay. See, it is into running state now. Once that is done, and even if you wanted to start and restart the service, sudo service Apache 2 and stop. You're going to stop this server. And if I just again check the status, see, it is into inactive state. It is stopped. Again, if you wanted to restart the server, just replace stop with start. Okay. Now again, your Apache 2 server, web server is running. We have checked the status. Next, what we are going to do is just come back to just delete this file as of now. Remove -r index.html. Okay, sudo So, sudo remove fnr and index.html. This file is deleted now. What I'm going now is just come to your internet, search for CSS templates. Okay, CSS templates. This search, just come to any of the here one. There are some free CSS sites. Just click on this. Here you can able to see there are thousands of free websites available. Okay. Now let us say I wanted to host this website. Just click on that website. Okay. Now just download button. Do not click on download button. Right click, copy link address. Okay. Just copy this link address. Come back. Come back to your server. Just give me a second. The power is gone. 1 second. Okay. Just come back to your server. You already know what is the use of wget command, right? Wget and paste that link here. So what happens now? It is going to download these files inside your EC2 instance. That is what it will do. Just click on enter. Okay, you need to execute this command with the sudo permission. Just execute with the sudo privileges. Sudo. See, it is downloading here. Wait for a second while it downloads. Now it has downloaded. Just do ls. See, it is downloaded. Where is this? Where is my notepad here? Just a second. So installed, status is done. Start, status, stop, start, everything is done here. Now what we did, we just downloaded some website. How to download? Wget and your URL name here. Once you execute this command, the files are going to be downloaded in your local system. Once it is downloaded, the files are going to be in a zip format. Now I need to unzip these files. Okay. For unzipping, you just need to execute this command. Unzip and that file name. That's it. Okay. Just let us execute this command. Where is the server? See, this is the files are downloaded, which are in a zip format. Now I need to unzip those files. Just use unzip, use sudo unzip. What is the name? oxer.zip. Just click on enter. See, it has unzipped all these files. Now let's see. See, it is here. Correct. Now what I'll do, I'll just remove this file. Sudo remove -r .zip. Okay. ls. Okay. I made a mistake. One mistake, small mistake here. Okay, let us repeat this. Oh, no issues. Sudo remove -r oxer dot html. Okay. Before doing this, just come back. Before downloading this, just do cd dot come one step backward. That is cd var www. Just come back to this folder instead of doing it from the HTML folder. Why? I'll show you. Guys, are you guys clear still now?
Yes.
You get, there are no files available here. See, wget, just paste that link. Okay. I just need to copy that. Copy link address, paste, enter. Again, sudo, I missed. Sudo, enter. It is downloading. Okay, now we can able to see a zip file. I need to unzip for this file. Sudo unzip, then the file name oxer.zip. Now it has unzipped all the files. ls. Now I'll just, instead of keeping this file, I'll just delete that file. Sudo remove -r oxer.zip. What is that? .zip. I'm just deleting that file. Okay, it is now deleted. Okay.
Again, you have done in HTML.
Again, I did in HTML, I know. Yeah, no issues. Just if you are doing it in HTML folder, your HTML folder always look for index.html file. Okay. But here what I did, I know I'll just change this sudo. If you're doing this mistake, just execute this. Just copy all the files from your HTML folder to your www folder. That's it. Okay. Sudo copy -r star. Do you want to do it from? I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay. Let
Yeah,
us do.
Sachin, you can do it from beginning.
Okay. He could have informed me, right? I was again doing it from HTML. No issues. Fine. Okay. Let me delete the files from HTML first. Let's cd/var/www/html. Let's sudo remove start this. Okay. Now where am I? Okay, sudo wget. Just paste that command here. Just download, copy link address, download, paste. Zip, unzip oxer.zip. Again, sudo unzip oxer.zip, but as unzipped. ls sudo remove. Can you able to understand? I'm doing quickly again the same steps, but I'm doing it inside www. That's it. Okay. oxer -r oxer.zip. Just remove those files. Now, if you look at the if you look at the content of oxer.html, okay. If you just look at that content, cd oxer dot hyphen html ls. See, there are some files available. Now what you just need to do, sir, just copy all these files from your www folder to your html folder. You just need to do that. How to copy these files? Sudo cp -r star, in the sense, copy all the files from my html folder to which folder? /var /www/html. I'm copying all the files from all these files from my www folder to this folder. That is what I'm doing here. Just click on enter. See, now if you go to html cd dot dot, what is the present working directory? cd /html. Why? cd html. Okay. Now if you look for ls, clear, all the files are copied here. Then again, same thing, sir. Just come back. Just take your IP address. EC2 instances running. It is not running. Copy IP address. Just paste your IP address here. Colon. Internet is gone. Just give me a second. Yeah. Can you able to hear my voice, guys?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Just take your IP address and 80. Now you can able to see your website here. See? Can you able to see this? This is the website we just now posted at this place. The connection is gone. We log in again. Correct? cd /var /www/html. Okay. These are the files. This is the website that we just hosted. This is the website. Did you guys understood this? And let me repeat the process one more time. What you just need to do, sir, same process, install your web server, just check the status whether it is running or not. Just come back one step. Please do not miss this. Even if you miss this step, that is fine. We can able to access that website. What you just need to do, if you're downloading your website here at this location directly, let me do it. wget. That also I'll show you. So instead of creating a confusion, I'll just create another website from the same site. I'll just download this. Copy link address. Sudo wget. And this. Oh my God.
Again, it's under HTML.
Yeah. What I'm doing, see, I'm hosting two websites on the same file. But if you wanted to access this file, I'll just show you. The same as stored sudo unzip new gem something is that, right? Yes. Just do ls. See, this is the file. First, let me remove this file. Sudo rm -r new gem.zip. Okay, just do ls. Now, see, this is also hosted under my HTML folder. If you wanted to access this website along with your IP address, what is that? along with your IP address :80 / your website name. neogem-html. neogem-html. See, can you able to see this? We can also host multiple websites under this folder if you are doing it directly. Instead of copying these files, if you're doing it just copying this HTML folder directly while accessing, after your IP address, just provide that page name. That's it. Clear? Just let me repeat this if you are confused. First, what is the first step? Anyone wants to try? Guys?
I will try, sir. But
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yes.
Install web server.
First, web server installation. Correct. Next.
Next, status to
Just
search
check the status, whether it is running. It must
or
be
not.
always in a running state. If it is not running, just execute the command that I showed you to start that server. Correct? Start, stop, or
Yes.
all those things. Next.
Next, wget that particular URL name.
Yeah. See, first, before that, just do this. cd/var/www. Just go to this folder. Okay. Once this is done, here at this location, download your files, wget and your URL. Okay. Next, once that is done, these files in which format they are downloaded? They are
Zip.
downloaded in a zip format. You need to unzip those files. Unzip and your file name.zip, whatever the thing which is downloaded, right? Unzip those files. Next, if you wanted to delete that, it's your wish. If you want, leave that just like that. Once that is done, what is the next thing you need to do, sir? I know everybody is confused at this stage. Once you downloaded the file, everything is fine. Next, what you need to do, after unzipping your files, just execute sudo copy -r star in the sense copy all the files from my present working directory. What is my present working directory? /var/www is my present working directory. From this folder, copy all the files to /var/www/html. To here, copy all the files. That is what you are doing. That's it. Once you're copied, just copy your public IP address, public IP :80. If you just execute this in your browser, you can able to see your website. Clear? Any doubts? That is why we are getting. See, if I just go back and just execute just 80, now you can able to see other website here. If I to the same URL, if I just do / what is that name? This one, right? neogem-html. If I do that, you can able to see this website. Okay. You can host multiple websites under the same web server. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just go back and try how to host a website inside your. See, this is how these files I'm just downloading it from the Google. Okay. Now there are thousands of templates available. Now, what in organization they'll do? They'll develop these websites inside your organizations. That's what they are going to do, sir. This is one of my website where I'm posting inside my web server. Just let us assume this is my banking application or something like that. Okay. If you are understood this, see, this is very important. Why I'm showing all this? I just wanted to explain you what is a web server and what is an application server. This is the most controversial topic. Okay. And when I started my career, it was very difficult for me to differentiate between what is application server and what is web server. I don't want you guys to do that. My battery is almost less. Okay. Now, see, inside your server, whenever you wanted to host a website, I'm using the word host. Host your application or website. There are two kinds of server. Okay. The first one is web server and second one is application server. These are the two kinds. But before understanding that, let us understand. First, let me explain you what is an API first. Just go with the flow. Whatever the things that I'm telling you, just keep it in mind. Okay. First, let us understand what is API. Just forget about API for some time. Now, let's say, sir, this is your, you'll go to hotel. Okay. You have visited a hotel, sir. What you need to do, you need some food or something like that to eat food. And you are here. The kitchen is available inside my hotel, correct? This is, let us assume this is the kitchen. Here it is available. Okay, chef is also there here, correct? Now I want my food, correct? So if I want my food, how I am going to order my food? There is a person, because there is no direct communication between me and the chef, correct? There is no direct communication. So what I need an another person. Who is that? That person is nothing but a waiter. He is a waiter, correct? So what this waiter will do, he'll come to me and he'll take order from me. What is the food that I require? And he'll goes to kitchen and he'll inform the chef that this is the food I need. Correct? And once the food is prepared from the chef, again take that food from chef and he'll deliver it to me. Correct? See, just a simple example. One person ordering the food, there is a waiter. He'll just take a order and deliver it to chef. And once the food is prepared, again he'll take that food and he'll deliver it to the customer. This is what happening, correct? See, just replace your waiter with your API, application programming interface. See, and one more thing, just don't like, are we going to write API calls? No. This is this is done by your developers. It is their headache. How they do it, everything they'll take care. No need to worry about this. But just for your understanding, I'm telling you. Okay. What is an API? API is nothing but a middleman who will accept the request and he'll deliver it to some person or some server. Again, he'll take a response from that server and again he'll deliver it to you. That is what a API will do. Is kind of a middleman. He accepts and delivers. He accepts the response, then again he'll deliver that response. Now, just a second. Where is this? Okay, let us begin. So I hope everybody understood what is API. Okay. Now, let us assume we are developing a Facebook application now. Okay. Now we are developing a Facebook application. So if you are developing a Facebook application, what are the things present inside your Facebook application, sir? There are so many things available, right? Facebook. See, just to make you understand clearly what is web server and what is application server, I'm following one exercise here. First, I explained you what is API. Next, I'm explaining you there is a Facebook application that we are developing. Just assume we are developing this application. Now, what happens if this is your computer and you search in your computer for Facebook? Okay. Now, what is the thing that you see here? Once you click on enter in your phone or laptop, there is some page gets opened, right? This is a Facebook page. Here you can able to see login, username, password, all these things. Correct? So this is the page which gets generated. See, whatever the page that you are looking in, if, for example, if I search for Facebook, see if this is my page, see, this is, it is coming like this, /facebook.com. When I search for Facebook, this is the page which gets opened. And whatever the things you see in this page, whatever the things that you're looking at here, we call it as a front end of an application. This is a front end of an application. Okay. Whatever the things that you visually you can see through your eyes, that is your front end. Okay. Now, if you through your front end, you will store your username while you sign up. While you sign up or sign in, what happens, sir? You're going to provide your username, your password, your credentials, all these things that you're going to provide, right? Now, where these details are getting stored, these details are getting stored under something called as database. What is this database? Database stores your data, your usernames, password, everything is stored here. And we call this database as a backend part of my application. Now the story gets interesting here. Now you understood what is front end. Front end is the thing that you can see through your bare eyes. What is backend? Backend is nothing but which is used to store all your data, right? Now, when I provide my username and when I provide my password, and I'll just click on this login button, right? What happens? What should happen, sir? There should be a connectivity from this front end to back end. It has to check whether whatever the username I provided is equal to your stored username and password. Only if this username and password matches with the stored username and password in your database, then I should allow you inside my website or some other app, correct? This is what I should do. Now, in order to do that, this is not a direct process. Here, there is one more layer called as business logic layer. See here, this is where we are going to write our API calls. Okay. So what this API will do, it will try to establish a connection from my front end to my backend application. If my username and password, the provided entered username and password are equal to stored username and password. If these two are same, then allow user to log in or get into the application. Who's doing this? This is done by API. Who is going to develop this API? Your developer is going to develop this. This is not your headache. He'll do it. And this part we call it as a business logic layer. And this business logic layer or these APIs are created by using your programming languages. What are those programming languages? You might have heard of Java, C, C++, Python, .NET. All these are programming languages, correct? See, this business logic layer is implemented with the help of programming language. This is where your programming language comes into picture. Clear? There is a front end, there is a back end, and there is a business logic layer. That is where through API calls, you are going to connect your front end with the back end. Why you're connecting? In technical words, if we talk, to authenticate and authorize. For authentication, authorization, for multiple other things we are doing. But if you look at our example, this one, we are doing authentication and authorization. Okay, guys, clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Confusion, anything, guys? Anybody have any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So now, now, see, whenever you are developing any application, if this application is involving any programming language, if this application development involves any programming language, C, C++, Java, or any other programming languages, then those kind of applications, these kind of applications, we are going to host using application servers. This is the point I wanted to make here. Application server. Okay. If any of the application, which might be your website, which might be your uh, enterprise applications or banking application, any application, okay, if there is an involvement of any programming languages, then those kind of applications we are going to host it under application servers. Okay, so any doubt here? In application servers, we have multiple kinds of application servers. One is Tomcat is an application server. Just like, see, Nike is a one brand, it provides shoes. Puma is another brand which provides another shoes. Just like that, here also same thing. Tomcat is an one brand of application server. JBoss is an another brand of application server. WebSphere is an another application server. Webserver or WebLogic. Sorry, WebLogic. WebLogic is in another application server. Okay. So if there is, whenever you develop an application, always keep it in mind. Just ask whoever the interviewer is, whoever the person is, whether the programming language is involved in development of this application. If the answer is yes, automatically what should come to your mind should come, okay, we are going to use application server. Okay, what application server, that we need to decide, that whether you wanted to host it under Tomcat, WebLogic, JBoss, anything. Okay, so that is the major difference. And if you wanted to host a website, if you want to host a website or web application which is having a programming language involvement, okay, then what you are going to use? You are going to use application server. Now, this is, I'm going to write some Java files here, Java based files, and where I need to host these files, I need to host these files under my application server. Just like we copied now, just now we copied all the files here, right? We downloaded using wget, all those things we did, right? You just need to copy this Java files into your application server. But if you just directly do it, then it will not work. This is because your application server language is in zeros and ones. You are writing your program in plain English language. Now, what you need, sir? Just the same story. You need some converter. Who is that converter? We call it as now what we need to do? We need to convert our English language to zeros and ones. Now we need to use one converter. That converter we call as build tools. What are these build tools? They just convert from your programming languages to zeros and ones. In other words, human understandable format to machine understandable format or low level code. They'll convert the instructions. That is what they'll do. Clear? The 2 points I explained here. If the application is involved, if there is any involvement of programming language, then what are the 2 things you need to do? You are going to use application server. And can you directly copy this files into your application? No. Before copying, what you need to do? You need to convert those files. For converting those files, what you're going to use? You're going to use build tools. Guys, is this clear? Just to make tool statements, I explained you all these things. Pawan, Nagarjun, Manoj, Krupal.
Yes.
I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to make here. See, now just to brief you, web server and application server. Why I'm taking so much time in explaining these concepts? This is because when we move forward or when you start attending interviews or start working in real time, you'll face this confusion. You'll always have this confusion where to use what kind of server. This confusion you'll always have, even I had. So that's why I'm telling you, clearly I'm telling you what is application server and what is web server. See, now if there is an involvement of any programming language, then you're going to use application server. Can you directly use the programming language code files directly in application server? No, you need to convert those files. For converting what you're using, we are going to use build tools. If it is a Java based project, then we are going to use Maven as our build tool, converter tool, I can also say. If your programming language is C and C++, then you are going to use CMake as your build tool. If your programming language is Python, then you're going to use PyBuilder as your build tool. It depends. Okay. And one more point. Guys, I hope everybody understood what is application server here. Now we'll come to web server. Web server is pretty easy, straightforward. If you wanted to host websites, if you wanted to host static websites, just now we did, right? This is my website. Where is this? Oh, where is that website? Okay, did I close it? Okay, we just now hosted one website, right? Just take that, copy, paste, colon 80. See, this is the website we hosted, correct? See, if you wanted to host static website, what do you mean by static? Permanent content, the content which will never change, which is permanent. See here whether this content is changing? No, right? Even these things are static. If you just sliding, all these things are static, correct? Again, it will remain same. If you wanted to host a static websites or static web pages, then you are going to use your web server. That is the first point. And do we need to convert? And there is, it supports your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You will develop these static websites using these languages. You are not going to do it, but just for your information. And do I need to convert these files into zeros and ones format? Did we convert it, sir, while hosting that website?
No.
See, it conversion is not required when you wanted to host a static website, because your static website or static web servers, Apache 2, Nginx, have the capability to understand your plain English. Even if you are writing in plain HTML, plain English, it has have the capability to understand what it means. It converts automatically into zeros and ones. That's why conversion is not needed into your zeros and ones. Okay, the first point, when you need to use web server, if you wanted to host static websites, then you are going to use web servers. What are those static websites? If the website is developed by using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript languages, then that thing we call it as a static website. And do we need to convert those files into zeros and ones? It is not required, as it is, as your web servers can able to understand these languages directly. There is no conversion required. And when to use your application server? If there is an involvement of your programming language, then you are going for application server. Okay, conversion or convert, do we need to convert from human understandable format to machine understandable format? The answer is yes, because it cannot understand my human understandable Java files directly. So that's why I'm converting these files or programming files. How you are converting? Using something called as build tools. Just a simple command you need to execute, sir. That's it. It's not a heavy task. One command, it will convert. That's it. Okay. If it is a Java programming language, then Maven is a build tool. C, C++, CMake is a build tool. Python, then PyBuilder is a build tool. There are so many other programming languages as well. Okay. And just remember this point. Application servers are used to host dynamic web pages or enterprise applications. What is this dynamic web application and what is the static website? Web server is used to host static website. Application server is used to host dynamic web pages. Then what is the difference, sir? Can anybody tell me?
Dynamic means it is changing every time. Static means it is remains same.
And just tell me, see, here we hosted one website, right? And here, if you look at, this is changing, right? Whether it's static or a dynamic now.
That is static, like you need to change it.
See, this all content is stored only once. And you are just scrolling it or clicking on this button and it is moving, right? All this content, whatever the scrollings you see here, this video, everything is a static content here. Then what I mean by dynamic, this is where you need to understand. See, if this is your login button, then what happens the moment you click on login button? This is your front end. This is your business logic layer. And this is where you store your data. Correct? Do we have a time? What is the time? Yeah, we have still 8 more minutes. No issues. See, the moment I click on this login button, what happens internally? First, the request has to go to your business logic. Through API calls, it has to go. Then it should again send another request to database. It has somewhere here your username and password is stored. It has to fetch that password. Fetch and compare that password. Correct? Whether the password that you provided and whatever the data which is present inside your database, whether both are same or not, provided and stored. Only if these two content is same, then you are logged in. See, this is not happening only for you. This is happening for lakhs of users. Correct? Every time, whenever every user logged in, every time it has to go to database, check it, and allow that user. Correct? I'm just talking about one scenario here. If you look at a banking application, see, now I have 100 rupees. I'll do some phone pay. Then some phone pay, I'll add 10 rupees. Then what is the total amount? 110 rupees. It keeps on changing day in and day out, right? This is kind of a dynamic content. You need to store this data into your databases. Correct? How you are going to store? If this is your front end, again, business logic layer, you connect this. All these things are keep on repeating, correct? See, if the content is keep on updating from second to second, minute to minute, that kind of content, we call it as a dynamic content. The best example is your banking application or Facebook application, any application. Okay. So that is your dynamic content. Just remember application server, when to use. If you wanted to host dynamic websites, then you need to use. Then if there is an involvement of programming language, if you are developing a dynamic website, there will be a involvement of programming language. Almost every time there is an involvement. Are you going to directly host your application? No, I need to convert that. How you are going to convert? Using a build tools, you are going to convert and place it inside your some path / via www we discussed, right? You are going to just place this file under this path. That's it. What is a web server? Web server is used to host static websites, static content. There is no involvement of programming language. It is used to host static web pages created using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything. And do we need to convert those files? The conversion is not required. Clear? And even if I talk about this, just give me 2 seconds, 2 more minutes, guys. I just wanted to complete this. And in real time, you're going to use both your web server and your application server in a single application. How you are going to use? See, let us assume, let's open HDFC Bank. See, this is my HDFC Bank website, right? Whatever the things that we are seeing, can we call it as a front end? Right? This is my front end of my HDFC application. So this front end is developed using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or including many other things. So if the website is developed using HTML and CSS, then where you are going to host this? You are going to host this under web server. Now, here is the tricky part. When I click on this login button, net banking, whatever the thing I do, what should happen, sir? Again, it should come to database. It should authenticate and authorize all my details. This thing should happen. See, through your web server, it sends a request to your application server. This is where you will place your application server. Inside your application server, what it has the application logic or a business logic, which is developed using your programming languages that you placed under application server. And through this logic, it is going to connect to your database and get back the response. Okay. So in real time, sometimes you'll just use web server. Sometimes you'll just use application server. Sometimes you'll use combination of web server plus application server. Both you'll use. This is the detailed explanation that you can ever get based on my experience on web servers and application servers. Okay. Clear, guys? If you're not understanding all these things, just remember this table. Nobody asks you what is application server, what is web server, but you should know this. Web server, static. Application server, dynamic. Programming language, not there. In dynamic websites, yes, it is there. Why? We are implementing API calls. So that's why. So we need to convert that into zeros and ones. For converting, we use build tools. What are those build tools? I explained. Just remember these 4 points and here 2 points. That's it. Okay. These 4 points and these 2 points you just need to remember. Apart from that, I don't expect anything from you. Even if you forgot all these things, what is this? All these things, I don't care. Just remember these things. Now we completed this web server, correct? We have created a static website. We hosted everything we done. This website we just did, right? This website we just hosted our website, this one, and we did everything. The pending is this application server. This will do at later point of time, not now. Okay. And please remember, you are not going to write all these Java applications, Java files or Python files. You are not going to write. Who will write this? This is done by your developer. Okay. You no need to worry. This is their attack. Okay. I think I took a lot of time today. So for mobile application, which service we use? You mean to say you can use application server. There is no difference. For Flutter, we have, right? Flutter is one of the programming language. For Flutter, we use, what is that name? I don't know the name, sir. Please just Google it. There is an application server for that also. Okay. Any questions? Okay. If there are no questions, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye. Please go through this.